Otherwise, you will not make it in the board exam. Do you get it? If you cannot correlate each laws to each other, if you still studying corpus separate from oblicon, if you still studying oblicon separate from contracts, then that is not a healthy studying habit. The only way to make it or to understand the law is to incorporate or intercorporate it to each other or to correlate it to each other. Obligation and contracts are the basic foundations of the commercial law. So at least as early as now, you can incorporate obligation and contract to sales, to bills, and to corpo. You understand? So from time to time, even though I'm discussing cooperatives and discussing bouncing checks or the secrecy of bank deposits, there are times that I'm still going to refer to oblicon, I'm going to refer to corpo or to other laws which is not part. Okay? And as far as I'm concerned, while we're discussing this, there are some laws which will be discussed although it is not part of the syllabus. Like for instance, in a secrecy of bank deposits, there are times that we're going to touch the Human Security Act or the Anti-Terrorism Law because it is related in AMLA. Okay. Do you get it? Baka kasi magtaka kayo, bakit dinidiscuss ni Mamang kidnapping? Bakit dinidiscuss ang murder? Bakit dinidiscuss ang anti-terrorism? Hindi naman related dito. Because those are exceptions to these laws. So as early as now, since you're taking this review class, this should be the start of your preparation for the board exam. Otherwise, all your effort is worthless. If you will not pass, then what's the point of this? The goal is to pass the board exam and nothing more. Not to repeat, not conditional, but to pass it. Do you get it? Why are you so sad? What's wrong? What? Basa ka? I didn't know that you'll get wet. At least as early as now, you inform us that you'll get wet. You get wet? So wet ka? Hanggang ngayon. Since when? Okay. Now, I gave an assignment, I think, and then hopefully, and I think it was disseminated to you by your classmates. Okay? May I have your index cards, please? Kindly state your name, contact number, you know it, you're my previous student, Gargan. Of course, kindly attach your beautiful pictures, your 1 by 1 since first year. If you don't have the picture, you know what it means. full body do you want? Or here's for some pictures. I can hear you, Ate.
RF meeting ko yung ilalagay na sa akin.
Yeah.
Slash ko na lang.
Come on, hurry up.
Meron daw si Kenny. Meron daw si Kenny. Nasaan tayo? Ako nagulat ka na?
For the 3 boys at the back, there are still seats here. Kindly occupy the front seat. Bring 1 chair. Why is it you don't want to occupy the front seat? I've heard every time it's review, nag-uunahan pa kayo sa unahan. Why is it no one wants to occupy the front seat today? May I have your index cards, please?
Masaya siya. Bakit crush niya?
Let's see you will be the first slide for today.
Nagpapanot siya sa pagkakas.
Thank you. Are all index cards here? Janica de la Cruz. Do you know our assignment, Janica? What is BP22?
BP22 is also known as balancing test. Wherein it is a law that penalizes the making, growing, and issuance of checks that are insufficient.
There are two instances wherein a person may be held liable for bouncing checks. What are those? Which one is first?
When the person knows that at the time of the issuance or making or drawing of the checks, there are no sufficient funds. While the second instance is that when at the time of the issuance there is fund, but then after presentment within 90 days.
What do you mean? Orsine, it's not your time to shine. Do you want to volunteer for her? It seems that you want. Are you now the knight of shining armor? Do you want to call your boyfriend for you? Okay.
When the issuance fails to maintain the funds in the bank,
Come on. Give me the requisites of first instance. Janica, do not cheat. Come on. You're cheating. What are the requisites for the first instance?
insufficiency of funds.
What else? Come on, you did study, right?
The requisites are stated in section 2.
Are you asking me? So let's change our position. You are the professor. I am your student. Do you want? You want me to recite for you? Okay. Come on. What are the requisites for this situation number 1? Yeah, you are correct. That's good. The first situation, if the person knows that he is issuing a check without a fund. But what are the requisites? Can you please give me the requisites?
There is a making, growing, and issuance of checks.
What is a check, by the way? What is a check? As defined by negotiable instruments law. Verbatim. Quiet. What is a check?
It is a negotiable instrument wherein there is a drawee, payee, and payee.
How does it is defined under the negotiable instruments law? What is an inland bill?
Unconditional promise.
That is a promissory note.
Unconditional order to pay some certain amount.
Really? Is that the definition of check? As I've said, nego is not under me, but for this particular class. But there are times that we have to refer. Example, bouncing checks is based on negotiable instruments law because we're talking about check. So, as early as now, if you're preparing for the board exam, you should start relating each laws. Otherwise, you will not make it on the board for law subject. Come on. You're done with your Lego, right? Are you a student? Okay, so what is a check? What are the two kinds of check? General classification of check. I'm not talking about manager's check. What are two classifications of check? We have the inland bill and foreign bill. What is the difference between inland bill and foreign bill? Do you wanna call a friend? What's wrong? Come on. At this stage, you should not be scared anymore. You're already in your review. Pag nag-enroll na kayo sa review center, the pacing is much faster. You don't have the luxury of time. And if you just want a one-shot deal to get your CPA, okay, your title, then you start reviewing. Are you crying? Please do not cry in my class. Cruz, Armani. What is a check? A kind of what? Billing instrument. So, is every billing instrument a check? So, are you telling me a Meralco bill is also a check? Because we're talking about billing instrument. What do you mean by that? Can you please be more specific?
Kind of negotiable instrument.
Yeah, it is a kind of negotiable instrument, but I'm asking you, what is the definition of check? What is an inland bill, Iho? Quiet. Louder your voice, or otherwise I will come to your seat and then I will invade your privacy there. Come on. What is an inland bill? Come on, we're just reviewing. This is not a first view. Kaya nga review. We're just trying to refresh your memories to those past subjects that you had. You had. Actually, kasi past tense na. I'm just asking you a simple definition. What is a check? You know what is BP 2010? You don't even know what is a check. As defined under the negotiable instruments law. Morales. What is a check?
It is a substitute for money for payment.
That is a function of check. What else? How about the definition of a check? That's good. That is a function of a check. But what is a check? So check is a substitute for money for payment. That is a function of check. But what is a check? In fact, in negotiable instruments, that is the simplest definition among the three instruments. And that is the shortest definition. How can we go to the complicated laws? Law is a complicated law. If you can even define to me what is a check. Anyone? Do we have a volunteer?
A check is a document, ordered to the bank to pay a certain amount of money, which is credit to amount of that document.
That could be, but what is the exact definition under the negotiable instrument law? That is a nice try. Kenya?
Under our section 1 is check is a note exchange, zone of bank, payable to
Good. That is very good. That is the exact definition of check under section 185 of negotiable instruments law. A check is a kind of bill of exchange drawn in a bank, payable on demand. Okay? So pag tinanong ko sa multiple choice sa board exam, what? That is under section 185 of the negotiable instruments law. Okay? That is the exact definition of check. Now, we do have two kinds of check, okay? Classifications, okay? We have the inland bill and foreign bill. Okay. What is the difference between inland bill and the foreign bill? What? You're going to go? Or you're going to answer it?
Ay, kala ko na.
What?
Sagot sana ako.
Okay.
Yung inland bill po kasi drawn in the same country and payable in the same country. Tapos pag foreign bill po, drawn in that country tapos payable po sa another country.
What country?
Yung halimbawa po, pag inland bill po, yung yung cheque po dinrawn dito sa Pilipinas is payable din po dito sa Pilipinas. Pag foreign bill po, pwede pong drawn sa Amerika, payable po sa
Good.
Pilipinas.
An inland bill, okay, or a domestic check, is drawn in the Philippines and payable within the Philippines. While a foreign bill could be drawn in the Philippines but payable in the Philippines, or drawn outside the Philippines but payable in the Philippines. Okay. Sa foreign bill, it's or. How in inland bill, it's and. Okay? You get it now? Now. Zanika, give me the requisites for the first instance of Big 22. You said it's a drawn to insufficient. What else? Come on, you did study, right? 2022 enacted? What? When it was enacted? April 15? What year? Are you asking me? Really?
April 3, 1970.
You're not being asked. We have a volunteer. Sit down. Suba, stand up. Sit down. Because Suba is volunteering for you. You know the rules, Suba. Yeah, sit down.
April 3 po, 1979.
April?
3, 1970.
Okay. So this is a very old law. Okay? So you're going to recite in behalf of judges. Stand up now. You know the rule. Everyone has time to shine. Do not steal that moment from them. Unless I've asked for the volunteer, right? Okay. So this BP 22 was enacted during the time or during the era of Marcos. Okay. In fairness to the late president, we have a good laws during his time. Okay. This is the time wherein talamak yung pag-forge ng, talamak yung, nagbo-boom yung economy ng Philippines. Okay? Mataas yung, we're number 1 in Asia during that time. Then, this law was enacted para mag-facilitate sa pag-boost or para sumuport sa pag-boost ng ekonomiya ng Pilipinas. Okay. Now, Suba, sit down, the two of you. Armani, sit down. What are the requisites for the first instance for BP 22?
Yung ano po, yung insufficient fund po.
It was already here. What else?
Tapos yung evidence po ng insufficient funds.
What do you mean evidence by insufficient fund?
Prima facie evidence po ma'am na yung ano po, yung ano po, yung laman po ng check. Yung, I mean yung account po na, yung account po dun sa check wala pong laman. Tapos, ano po, within 90 days po na.
What do you mean by prima facie?
Ano po ma'am, yung, I mean, derivation may constructive po may isa.
Are you asking me?
Yung constructive evidence po, yung parang yung kitang obvious na po yung sa constructive, yung prima facie kung hindi po obvious pa.
Really? Because you're mentioning about prima facie. So what do you mean by prima facie? What? So what if you cannot recite to me the requisites of the first instance of BP 22, can you please recite to me the second instance? The second situation wherein a person may be held liable for BP 22. Do you still remember, those under me and if you still remember the movie Catch Me If You Can? Okay? Those are the circumstances wherein Abigail was held liable for forgery and BP 22. Come on, give me the second instance.
Yun nga, yung,
Anong yun nga?
yung, ano po,
Okay. The first requisite is first, we have the two instances wherein a person may be held liable for BP22. First, nung una yung nag-issue ng cheque, alam niya na walang laman ng cheque. From the very start, he or she knows that the check will be dishonored kasi wala talagang laman. Alam niya na from the very first place na tatanggol. Okay? So first, there is an issuance or the person draws a check or issued a check. Okay? Second, that person knowingly, kindly take note of the word knowingly, meaning that person has knowledge or in bad faith when he or she issued the check. Okay? Knowingly issued the check that there is no sufficient fund in his or her bank account. Third, it was dishonored for insufficiency of funds. Okay? That are the first requisites. The second instance is that there is a fund at the time, okay? There is a fund at the time that the check was issued. Okay? However, at the time of payment, okay, it was dishonored. Okay? It was dishonored for either insufficiency of funds or the person ordered to stop the payment without valid grounds. Do you get it? So, pag BP22, hindi laging talbog. Hindi dahil laging walang pera. Okay. Sometimes there is a money, there is a sufficient fund, but that person stopped or ordered the bank to stop payment without any valid reason. Do you get it? So those are the two instances wherein a person may be held liable for BP22. BP22 is a mala prohibita law. What is the difference ba between mala inse and mala prohibita? Isn't it you volunteer? Danica, can you please say thank you to Suba? What is the difference between mala inse and mala prohibita?
Mala prohibited sir. Ay, sir ba? Ano po? Prohibited by the law. Ganun.
So,
Ano po?
mala inse is not prohibited by law?
Hindi mo, prohibited po. Pero ano?
So what's the difference?
Inherent po yung ano, yung mala prohibited. Tapos, I mean,
What do you mean by inherent?
ay hindi mo.
Come on, give me a better answer. This is not the time for you to research, Suba. You should make your research or you should study before you come to the class. Come on. Oh, by the way, for those new under me, I do not allow to record my lectures. Okay? That will be violation of anti-wiretapping law. Otherwise, I'm going to sue you and file a case against you. Also, if you disseminate my lectures, notes, etc. without my consent, that will be violation of my copyright under the intellectual property law.
Ma'am, yung mala prohibited mo kami parang hindi naman po talaga sadya na magkamali.
Hindi sadya na magkamali. Parang hindi mo sinadyang mag-resign. Parang
Hindi
gano'n.
mo kasi,
Yun!
halimbawa ano po, yung nagka-drive sa may ano, sa may maling linya ng kalsada. Di ba may ano po, may motorcycle lane. Dapat dun lang po yung mga motorcycle.
Mhm.
Tapos yung
Do you drive motor?
Hindi mo.
Really? Do you follow that? Do you think people follow that?
Hindi mo.
Really?
Yes. Sometimes.
Really? What else?
Yun ba? Tapos halimbawa kung yung pagbabayad po ng tax mo.
Where is money?
Can I call a friend?
No! I have no lifeline. Remember, you volunteered. You were not called. You volunteered. Your index card was not picked. You volunteer, right? Yes! Everybody knows, right?
Wrong friend.
difference? Come on, give me a better answer. What is the difference between mala incel, mala prohibita? Because BP 22 is a mala prohibita law.
Kala ko yung ano po.
Bawal.
Bawal, ano po? Bawal po yun kasi pinoprohibit po ng batas.
So, ang mala incel, inaalaw ng batas.
Hindi ma'am, ano ma'am, I mean, kasi ma'am, simply po prohibited by the law po. Ibig sabihin ma'am, di ba?
So,
Himala, prohibita.
so,
Yun siyempre, ano ma'am? Yun siyempre ma'am.
ano?
Parang matik ang ano pa.
Anong matik?
Ano ma'am, parang murder ma'am. Kung siyempre ma'am, pumatay ka ng kapwa mo ma'am. Di ba?
So, are you telling me that murder is a mala prohibita law?
Hindi ma'am. Mali lang, mahala lang.
So, are you telling me murder is a mala prohibita? Really? Or dance and coal and do you agree with Zuba? What is the difference between mala incel and mala prohibita?
In nature, mali yung insect. Pero yung prohibita, stay siya sa batas. I mean, when nagsasabi sila, natural siya marami. Sabi ka lang.
When you say mala prohibita, you don't need intent for it to be committed. Meaning, when the law punishes it, when the law says it is prohibited, regardless of your intent, okay, then you will be held liable. Example, BP 22. Once you issue the check, regardless you have the intention to defraud someone, compared to, you have to compare BP 22 to STAFA. STAFA is under the revised penal code. Those both crimes or those both offense relates to each check. Okay, STAFA and BP 22. But they are governed by different laws. BP 22 is under mala prohibita, while STAFA is under revised penal code, which is mala incel. Mala incel, we have to check the intent of the person. Okay? You have to intend. Whether, was there an intention to commit the crime? Was there an intention to commit the offense? Because if there is, then you can be held liable under mala incel. But in mala prohibita, regardless of your intent, okay? Regardless your intention is good, regardless your intention is bad, whether your intention is noble, then you can be held liable. Because the law does not distinguish. Whatever your intent is, once you committed that act, then you can be held liable. Example, liquor ban during elections. You have no intention to drink. Example, bumili ka. Walang may intention uminom, bumili ka lang. Okay? Once you're in possession of that liquor, you can be held liable for violating that specific law. Because that is a mala prohibita. Regardless kung iinumin mo o hindi. Same with a gun. Okay? If you have a gun during election, it is prohibited. Once na, kahit na sabihin mo pang isinuksok lang yan ng anak mo dun sa kotse o nadala lang ninyo, without the intention really to carry it, or whether you have a license, but the license was suspended, then you can be held liable because it is a mala prohibita. Compared to mala incel, we have to check the intention of the person. Example, murder. Murder is a mala incel. Okay? It is not mala prohibita because it is under the revised penal code. Okay? So you have to check whether the person has the intention to kill that another person and how that person killed the other one. Because otherwise, if there is no intention, that would only be reckless imprudence resulting to homicide. Okay? It will only be culpa. It will not be deli. Suba, what is the difference between culpa and deli?
Kung tawag di ba negligence?
Mhm.
Kung pa tawag
Are you asking me? Come on, answer with confidence. You're already in your 4th year. Right, 5th year. What is culpa? You discussed that in obligos, right? Do you still remember the source of the obligation? We have the quasi-delicts, we have the quasi-contracts, we have the acts or remission, we have the law and the contracts, right? Okay, so what is delicts?
yung mga mali. Parang ano. Yung contrary to law.
Contrary to law. So, culpa is not contrary to law.
Hindi, no?
What? Example. So ba, kunwari doktor ako, tinuli kita. Nagkamali ako ng putol. Question, is that culpa or delicts? Why are you laughing?
Culpa ba? Culpa.
Culpa, why?
Negligence ba? Nag-ano ka lang? May parang naging pabayaan lang.
Because there is a lack of skill or lack of foresight, that is culpa. However, in delicts,
Okay, ma'am. Ano sa
na bad trip ko sa'yo, binupit ko sa geta.
Yun,
Question.
intent talaga. Parang sinadya ka talaga. Alam mo nang mali ginawa mo.
Really? So same with volunteering for your classmate, right? Alam mo lang mali, sumama pa rin.
Dito ko lang sabihin sa kapatid.
Sinigaw mo? Sinigaw mo yung katabi mo? Okay. So, let's go back to the BP22. Now, why is it we have to distinguish whether BP22 is mala prohibita or mala illicit? Because the mere issuance of the check, regardless of your intention, okay? Regardless of your intention to defraud the other person, okay? If you still remember the fraud, negligence, delay in your obligor, okay? Since it is mala prohibita, okay? Then you could be held liable. The mere presence of that check, okay? And it is stamped, okay? Because the law requires that once it was dishonored, the drawee back, okay? For the parties in a check, by the way, suba,
Ano ma'am?
under the negotiable instrument.
Maker. Draw. Ano?
Maker?
Hindi ma'am. Draw. Penny pala. Tas draw.
What is section 1
Section 1.
of negotiable instruments yun? Quiet! Can you please recite section 1? An instrument to be negotiable must conform to the following requirements. Number 8. Quiet! Otherwise, you want to replace Suba?
Must be written. Unnegotiable.
Come on, section 1.
In order to be negotiable.
An instrument to be negotiable must conform to the following requirements. Letter A, must be in writing signed by the maker, the drawer. Letter B, must be payable on demand or at fixed or determinable future time. What else? Letter C, it must contain a conditional promise to pay a sum certain in money. Letter D, it must be payable to order bearer. Letter E, if the instrument is addressed to the drawee, he must be name or otherwise indicated therein with reasonable certainty. Correct? Recite section 1. I'm not reciting for you. I'm just reminding you. I'm just refreshing your memories.
Unnegotiable instrument. To be negotiable must...
A negotiable instrument.
Unnegotiable
Quiet.
Instrument.
must be signed by a maker or drawer.
Again, section 1.
Section 1. A negotiable instrument.
An instrument to
An
be
instrument to be
negotiable.
negotiable must conform to the following. A.
Requirements. Again, section 1.
Section 1. An instrument to be negotiable must conform to the following requirements. Number 1. Must be written.
Again, section 1. Must be in
It
writing
must be
signed by the
writing
maker
and
or
signed by a
drawer.
maker or drawer.
Again, section 1. You're done with nego. You should know that. That is the Bible of negotiable instruments too. You cannot pass nego without memorizing section 1. And it doesn't mean you're done with that subject. Then you will forget all the subjects or all the provisions that you memorize. Remember, you will take the board exam. And assuming that Lego will not be part of the exam anymore, okay, because there are chismes that it will be removed, right? But that is still related to BP 22, Bank Secrecy Law, SRC, AMLA, PDIC. Come on, wake up. You're already not here. You're not here to play anymore.
Section 1. Instrument to be negotiable must conform to the following. It must be in writing and signed by a maker for it. 2. It must contain an unconditional promise.
To pay a sum certain amount.
In a sum to pay. In a sum.
To pay a sum certain
To
amount.
pay a sum certain amount.
Okay.
It must contain an conditional promise or condition. Section 1. An instrument to be negotiable must conform to the following. A. It must be in writing and signed by a maker and grower. Second, it must contain an unconditional promise or condition. 3. It must
Your letter B is incomplete.
contain an unconditional promise or order to pay something.
Are you asking me? Am I the one deciding here?
In order to pay some certain money. Second, third, it must be payable on demand.
Those are notes. Must be payable on demand or at fixed or determinable future time.
It must be payable on demand.
Must be payable to
It must be
or
payable.
bearer or order.
Bearer or order.
If the instrument is addressed to a drawee, he must be named or otherwise indicated or named with reasonable certainty. Now, who are the parties to a check?
Drawing, tapos pay.
Who is a pay? Who is a pay?
Yung ano mo, yung babayaran ko. Ako po. Kasi mami drawing yung nagsulat ko ng cheque. Yung drawing ko yung bangko. Tapos yung pay ko yung tatagap.
Drawer is the one who issued the check.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Drawee is the one,
Yung parang bangko, ma'am.
the bank.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the difference between a regular bill of exchange and a check? Because as defined a while ago by Peña, check is a bill of exchange. Now, what is the difference between a check and a regular bill of exchange?
Pag bill of exchange lang, hindi na kailangan nito.
Really?
Hindi, ma'am.
Are you sure? In a regular bill of exchange, the drawee is not necessarily a bank. Remember? When a check, it's always a bank because it is drawn in a bank, payable on demand. Okay. So, walang drawee sa cheque na tao. It's always bank. Okay? So, a drawee is always bank in a check. So, drawer is the one who issued the check. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So, can you please give me credit for reciting for you?
Thank you, ma'am. Sorry.
Sit down. Ikaw. Okay. Is the mere presence of the check with a stamp of insufficient fund is enough to make the person liable of DB22? Really? Why? So? How do you establish knowledge of issuing without sufficient funds? Pursuant to Section 2 of DP22. This is not the time for you to read Iha. You should read that before you come to my class. Come on. Give me a better answer. You're done with your corpo, right? In case of a corporation or a juridical person, okay? In case the officer signed the check, can the officer be held liable? How will you reconcile that with the doctrine under the corporation code, which is separate and distinct personality? Do you agree with me that a corporation has a separate and distinct personality with its officers? Do you agree? So why is it you're going to make the officer liable if he or she signs the check? Considering that there is a separate and distinct personality between the corporation and between the officer. Come on, give me a better answer. What? Are we talking about agency? Agency is not part of the board exam anymore. We're not talking about agency here. We're talking about corpo. What do you mean by separate and distinct personality? Dapat nga, sa 50 year nyo, instant na lang yan eh. Parang nagpa-pop up na lang sa utak. Come on, what do you mean by separate and distinct personality? That is the theory of concession, right? So what do you mean by that? Dugay, choice at.
Separate and distinct personality ko. Parang ano po, kunwari yung corporation, tas ako, kapag meron po akong transaction, for personal ko lang po yun. Tapos pag sa corporation po, for corporation.
What is the exemption in a separate and distinct personality? What doctrine is that? Quiet. What do you mean by piercing the veil of corporate fiction? Can you disregard the separate and distinct personality of a corporation to make the officers liable? Can you do that? Can you disregard the personality of the corporation or the distinct personality of the corporation to make the officers liable? No? So that is an absolute rule. Is that an absolute rule? So separate and distinct personality has no exception? Come on, if you're just expecting that you will just play in my class, you're absolutely wrong. I gave 4 assignments of topics: AMLA, Secrecio Bank Deposits, BP 2020, data privacy, because I'm hoping that we could finish that today or at least touch the topic, at least 2 laws. Because I thought this is review. I'm not supposed here to teach you corpo, to teach you oblicon. I'm just correlating the laws. That is basically how. Come on. Is that an absolute rule? Is that a general rule? Or is there an exception to that?
The exception.
What is the exception or what are the exceptions?
So, doctrine of placing the
Yeah, that's correct. The exemption to separate distinct personalities piercing the veil of corporate fiction. Now, my follow-up question is, when do you pierce the corporate fiction of a corporation? When? How about fraud? Do you pierce the corporate fiction in case of fraud? Ayan. How about illegal acts? Do you pierce the corporate fiction of a corporation because of the illegal acts committed by the officers? Do you want to answer? You will just not. So give me an answer. What are those? What are the grounds for the piercing the veil of corporate fiction? The last time I heard, there's a lot of accounting students failed the board exam because of law subjects. At least, before you graduate in this institution, mabigyan man na kayo ng permit. At least, kahit paano, bago kayo sumabak sa gera, kahit maalaman lang meron kayo. But I cannot do it alone. You should help yourself. That is if you want to be a CPA. Do you want to be a CPA? Pupunta ka ba sa gala na wala kang bala? Then equip yourself with that. That is a challenge. That is not a criticism. So general rule, a corporation has a separate and distinct personality. You know that under your corpo, right? That is the theory of concession. Okay? If you want the officers to be liable to an act, okay, you have to pierce the corporate fiction. Okay? If you still remember this discussion, those who's under me, this is the umbrella, okay? This is the person, okay, transacting for the corporation, and then you have to pierce to make them liable. That is the doctrine of corporate, piercing the veil of corporate fiction. Now, when do you pierce the doctrine of corporate fiction? If the officers committed illegal acts, if the other corporation is just acting as alter ego of the other corporation, or if the corporate fiction is being used to perpetrate fraud or to commit illegal acts. Now, BB 22 explicitly states that the officers, okay, of a corporation or juridical personality, or juridical person who signs the check will be held personally and criminally liable because of signing that check. And the law itself pierce the corporate fiction, disregard the separate and distinct personality of the corporation to make the officers liable. Do you get it? So you have to relate also, why are the officers liable? Okay? Now, sit down, yeah, both of you. As to the knowledge, okay, a while ago, Suba mentioned about the prima facie evidence. Okay. It is very hard to establishing for whether the person know at that time, the first circumstance. It is hard to establish whether the person know at the time he or she issued the instrument that the bank or that his account or her account has no funds. Right? Now, the law states para umiiwas sa pagdadahilan. Kasi you can always say, hindi ko naman alam eh. Hindi ko naman alam na wala ng pondo. Okay? A person can always say that. So, under Section 2 of BB 22 states that the mere issuance of that check, the mere dishonor of that check, since it is a mala prohibita, is a prima facie evidence of such knowledge. Kahit i-deny mo pa ng i-deny na wala kang knowledge, pero dahil sa cheque na inisyo mo at dineclare na insufficient fund yan, okay, it is deemed, it is considered na may knowledge ka. That's why it is a mala prohibitado. You get it? That is section 2 of BPE 20. Now, let's go to section 3. Okay? What is the duty of the drawee? The duty of the drawee is to inform the payee why the check is being dishonored. Why the check is being dishonored. Meaning, kung nakakita na kayo ng talbog na cheque, may stamp yan, nakalagay insufficient fund or stop payment. So, it is the duty of the bank to inform the payee kung bakit hindi tinatanggap yung cheque o bakit na-dishonor yung cheque. Okay? Otherwise, the bank will be held liable if there is no sufficient notice to the payee. Okay? Now, that is the BP 22. Let's go to Bank Secrecy Law under Republic Act 1405. Aldan Santol. What does our Republic Act 1405 provides? Remember, this is one of the most controversial law. Okay? In 2016, if you still remember, okay, the war between Trillanes and President Duterte were in. The lawyer of President Duterte is waiting outside the BPI holding a waiver. If you still remember that. It's because of this law. Now, what is Republic Act 1405? It is important to study Republic Act 1405 in relation to AMLA. Okay?
Inquiry.
If you want to go to the restroom, just get out. Just evaporate. It's okay.
The deposits with any banking.
Iha, what have you read? Did you come to my class and prepare? Do you know the assignment?
Yes, ma'am.
What does Republic Act 1405 provides? This is not the time for you to read, Iha. Stop cheating. This is the time for you to resign. Oh, by the way, forgot to mention in BP 22. If the check was dishonored, however, the drawee, or the drawer rather, was able to pay, the payee within 5 days, it is deemed that the check is good. It is deemed that BP 22 was not violated. Okay? Meron lang siyang grace period na 5 araw. Okay? 5 days. Kaya if you notice, most of your transactions, especially if you're renting a house or you're buying a big commercial stuff or things, sometimes the person will ask for a check. So kung mag-make good mo yung check within 5 days, then the person may not be held liable for BP 22 regardless nung una pa siyang nag-issue, wala talaga siya pondo. Okay? Also, I was discussing a while ago the staffa. Ma'am, bakit po yung iba staffa yung kinakaso kaysa sa BP 22? Sometimes simultaneous. Pwede kang magkaso ng staffa, pwede kang magkaso ng BP 22 ng sabat. Kasi mas mabigat ang penalty ng staffa kaysa sa BP 22. Okay? Because penalty only is 30 days to 1 year, no? In stapa, it's higher. It could be 12 years, depende. If it is large scale. Kaya minsan, kung gusto mo na mas may ipin, mas may kagat, mas may panakot, usually the person files stapa. Eh ma'am, bakit po stapa, hindi 50-30 ko? Kapag may fraud, stapa yun, pinapasok sa stapa yun. Tsaka mas masarap yung pakiramdam na nai-issuehan ng warrant of arrest yung kalaban mo. Tapos ang penalty imposable ay 10 taon, ay nakasarap sa pakiramdam. Sigurado may ihi sa takot yun. Kumpara kapag nakita niya, ay, give it 30 to, puta, 1 taon na to, sige, punuin ko na lang. Okay? Sige. Iha, come on. I already make a commercial for you. What does Republic Act 1405 provides? Yes, what about secrecy of bank deposits? What do you mean by Republic Act 6426? Come on, this is a very short law. I'm not planning to stay here for long. Because there are a lot of things need to be discussed in AMLA. In AMLA, there are 4 laws involved. Hindi pa kasama yung exemptions niya. Which we are going to discuss. Including the unlawful activities. Unlawful activities pala, meron ng 20. Including arson, home to murder, terrorism, carnapping, kidnapping. Come on! This is the easiest, I think. Sa lahat ng assignment, ito ang pinakamadali. Dugay?
Republic of 1405 provides that all deposits in whatever nature, including the investment in bonds, are absolutely confidential in nature.
Okay? So that is the general rule. Okay? The general rule is that all bank deposits, okay, are confidential in nature and may not be inquired. Correct? So, meron tayong confidentiality. What is Republic Act 6426 in relation to Republic Act 1405?
Republic Act 6426 is the Foreign Currency Deposit Act.
Okay. What does Republic Act 6426 states? Is the Foreign Deposit Act is also confidential? Why? In Republic Act 6426, it explicitly states, okay, there is a provision in Republic Act 6426 wherein it states that it shall be subject to Republic Act 1405. That's why it is covered. Meron dong isang provision sa nakalagay doon. This Republic Act 6426 shall be subject to the confidentiality rule of Republic Act 1405. Okay, that's why foreign currency deposit also is absolutely confidential. Now, what are the exceptions? What are the exceptions? General rule, okay? Deposits may not be inquired. Diba? It is absolutely confidential. What are the exceptions? Under Republic Act 1405 pa lang ha, ang pinag-uusapan nating exemption.
Sa Republic of 1405 po, kapag meron po kasi permission galing po sa depositor,
Okay? What else?
in case po na
Impeachment. Do you have Constitution? Who are the impeachable officers?
President.
What else?
president.
Who else? Quiet. Who are the impeachable officers under your Constitution? President, Vice President, who else? Quiet. Unless you want to volunteer for her, let her redeem herself. Come on. Come on, you're proving yourself.
Senators po.
Really? So, do you want to impeach Tito Soto? I'm just asking. Can you file an impeachment case against Tito Soto?
Order ng korte.
For banning Nemo and Dory here in our territorial jurisdiction. Ha?
Wala court.
Can you?
Corona. Chief Justice.
You have consti, right? And it is the obligation of every citizen. Why is it important to know your constitution? The 1987 Constitution, because that is the supreme law of the law. Okay? What does it mean? Every time there is a contradiction between another law and the Constitution will prevail. Because there is a doctrine, a constitution of Suprema Lex, the supreme law. And there is also a saying of Jura Lex sed lex. It is no matter how harsh the law, it is the law. So the Constitution always prevails. Now, my question is, who are the impeachable officers? You have the President, the Vice President, who else? How about the Justices of the Supreme Court?
The chief pa.
Quiet! Yung natingas. Kayo mag-alala, mahaba pagsasamahan natin. Malay nyo, sa cooperative kayo matanong. Eh, 10% yun ang board exam. Diba? Hindi naman interesting na topic yung tanong nyo. Come on, this is the easiest. Justices of Supreme Court. All of them? Or only the Chief Justice? How many Chief Justice do we have that was impeached? How many? In our history, in the Philippine history, how many Chief Justice was impeached? Huwag kasi puro K-pop. Nood mo din ang news. Hindi opa-opa lagi. We have impeachment proceedings against Justice Corona wherein he was impeached we have impeachment proceedings against Justice Sereno, but she resigned. She was not impeached. So we only have one justice that was impeached. Okay. Justices of the Supreme Court, who else? This is not the time for you to read the notes of your seatmate, Iha. Do you want your seatmate to recite for you? I can see everything here in front. Sometimes even I'm not looking to the other side, I can still see them in my peripheral vision. Who else? Come on, you're done with your constitution. I told you laws are interrelated or interconnected to each other. Para yung digestive system, Iha, pwedeng aralin yung small intestines na hindi mo tinitingnan yung large intestine. How about the commissioners or the members of the Constitutional Commission? COA, Commission of Audit, impeachable officers. Civil Service Commission, impeachable officers. COMELEC, impeachable officers. And then the Ombudsman. Okay. Those are the impeachable officers. Why? Because the Constitutional Commission should be independent body. Okay. That's why it requires that it is an impeachable officers. However, pursuant to the doctrine of check and balances under the Constitution, wherein the impeachment proceeding shall be originated from the House. Okay? Did you study that in your consti? Uy, nagtatanong lang ako. Did you study that in your consti? No? What year is your consti?
First year.
First year? Why first year? So the impeachment proceeding pursuant to the doctrine of check and balances. Okay? Pursuant to the doctrine of checks and balances, okay, the impeachment proceedings originated in the legislative department. Okay. Where is the legislative department? The lower house. Lower house is the House of Representatives. Okay. And then, since it originated there, the trial will be held once they vote or the vote required was garnered for the endorsement with the Senate. The higher house or the Senate will proceed with the impeachment hearings. Okay? And then after that, if it is decided, okay, through votes that the person or the officer should be impeached, then the Senate will decide. That is pursuant to the checks and balances. Okay. What are the other example of checks and balances? Okay, we have the three legislative department. We have the three department: legislative, judiciary, and executive. Okay, they're all co-equal branch. Remember, in our system of governance, hindi head ang presidente. Mali yun. Tatlo, equal. They're all equal. Legislative, Supreme Court, and then the executive. The problem is that the president appoint the justices. And you know, the culture of the Filipinos is that the utang na loob. So once you're appointed, you will always bow for the president. Right? So the legislative initiates impeachment proceeding against the two. So you have the votes. The problem is it is the president who approved the budget of the legislative. Okay? That is the doctrine of checks and balances. They are equal. However, if you're going to check, this is the most powerful. Okay? Now, isa na ako. Wala tuloy yung... How about you? You should know this kasi what if lumabas siya sa multiple choice. Okay? Oh. Who are the exemptions in the foreign currency, blah, blah, blah. Okay, then there are impeachable officers. At ang tinanong sa inyo, constitutional commissions. Okay? How about the O? Who is a competent court? a competent court. Order of a competent court is the court who has jurisdiction over the case or the pending case. Okay. Example, how many courts do we have? We have the MPC, RTC, Court of Appeals, Court of Tax Appeals. Okay. What is example? Example, if there is a case in the BIR, okay, and then the Court of Tax Appeals issued, okay, sa CTA, issued a court order in a bank to divulge, okay, the bank or the amount in the bank account of that person. Okay, then that will be a competent court. Why? It is the Court of Tax Appeals who handles the cases regarding tax. In example, there is a tax evasion case, okay, or there is a seizures of the property. That's why kailangan competent court. Pag walang jurisdiction, then that will be a problem. So, what else? We have the Sandigan Bayan for those public officers who committed a crime in relation to their office. We have the malversation, corrupt practices, graft and corruption. Why I'm mentioning this? Because we will study it one by one in AMLA. Because those are listed of unlawful activities in AMLA. I know the information is too broad to you, but it will make sense also as we proceed. Okay? What else? We have the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court. We also have a family court, by the way. Those who have problem in annulment, bawsi, violence against child, violence against women. We have a commercial court. Those naman sa intra-corporate dispute regarding sa election of officers or doon sa corporation, sa proxies, we have the commercial courts. So, iba-iba. So, example, kung commercial court yan, eh hindi naman tungkol sa corporate problems ang pinag-uusapan. Tapos nag-issue siya ng order to divulge the amount of that deposit. Is that an order of competent court? No. So baka makita nyo, ay may order ng court. Yun kagad yung pinili nyo, yun kagad yung sagot nyo. Of course not. You have to check whether the court that issued the order is a competent court. You get it? Now, what else? What is the L? Subject of litigation. What is the subject of litigation? Pending case. What particular case? Okay? This will mabubroaden pa to, lalaki pa to. As of now, ito lang yung nakalagay sa RA 1405. Pero once na diniscuss natin ang AMLA, mas lalaki to. Okay? What is a litigation? Litigation is a pending proceeding in court. Okay? Case, kaso. Okay? Mas matalino lang pakinggan yung litigation. So instead of asking your friend, do you have a case pending against you? Do you have a litigation? Okay? Sige. So, what are the cases involving the litigation? Then, we have the bribery and the religion of duty regarding the public officials. Sabi ko nga, mabubroaden pa yan. Now, what is the penalty in case of violation of Republic Act 1405? Okay, so it's an imprisonment of not more than 5 years. Now, we also have to correlate Bank of Secrecy to the Data Privacy Act. Okay? Because in the Data Privacy Act, there is a bigger penalty imposable. Okay? So, kindly take note, in DP22, the penalty imposable is 30 days to 1 year, while in Bank Secrecy, any violation is not more than 5 years. Sit down, both of you. Let's go to AMLA. Why? Mahaba po ako, 320 pa lang. question as of now? Do you have any questions so far? Yes, Kanya.
As to our yung 90 days
Start.
how it affects the 5-day period, yung 90 days kasi sa ng video.
What do you think?
Kasi parang ang perception ko po doon, 90 days, after 90 days, from the day of presentment ng check, is mag-account yung 5 days.
Read the provisions of the law. Come on, read it loud.
Next lang po. Section 2 ma'am.
Yeah, read it loud. The 90 days you're talking about.
Evidence of knowledge of insufficient funds. The making, drawing, and issuance of a check, payment of which is refused by the drawing because of insufficient funds in or credit with such bank when presented within 90 days from the date of check shall be prima facie evidence of knowledge of such inefficiency of funds or credit unless such maker or drawer pays check. I pays the holder thereof the amount due thereon, or makes arrangement for payment in full by the drawing of such check in 5 bank days.
What? What did you understand?
Ano ma'am? Yun nga pinsabi ko kanina ma'am na pag na-arrest ko, ito ba doon tawag?
What?
Pag napunan yung ano, regardless of the date, basta napunan mo yung pagkulang mo. Uy! Or napondo ka. Basta sa loob ng 5 days, sabi napondohan mo yung kulang.
90 days is talking about what? Kindly take note of the word presentment within 90 days.
Kailangan
Diba?
presentment check within 90 days from the date of check itself.
Kailan mag-count yung 5 days mo?
Pag na-present yung check.
So, ang term doon, if you're going to notice, the term is presentment within 90 days. Pag sinabi mong within, nandito ka. So, it doesn't mean nasasagadin mo tong 90 days na to. Maximum is the 90. The minimum is of course this one from the day it was issued. So, within this period, okay, kapag nag-present ka, okay, let's say nag-present ka sa 30 days. Ka 30 days, dito ka nag-present. Kailan mag-run yung 5 days mo para to make good of the check? From the day of the presentment. The 5 days always run from the day of the presentment. Kasi that is the term, presentment within 90 days and to make good of the check, okay, from the time it was dishonored. Diba? So, kailan, example, prinisend mo siya ng 30 days, okay? It was dishonored. Example, dinishonored din siya within that day. Saka tatakbo ang 5 days mo. Sa 5 days, nagra-run to upon dishonored. Okay, kung kailan tumalbog ang cheque. Okay? Do you get it now? Okay. Any question? Yeah.
But yung case naman mo, it's like yung insufficient yung check, pero nag-issue siya ng check, pero na-close account naman po siya. Is it considered as BP22 or papasok ng TSA?
That is within the second instances, di ba? Okay, it could be a BP22. Estafa, pinapasok mo lang siya kapag may code. Okay, and it's different. Because in estafa, it is under the revised penal code. Okay, so do not confuse BP22. Hindi porke may check and involved, it is always estafa. Okay, sometimes lawyers always exaggerate the case. Kasi mas mabigat ang penalty na estafa. I think nag-CR ka, ano din-discuss ko to. Ask your seatmate. When we proceed with AMLA, Do not try to delay. I will still proceed with AMLA.
Wala ko lang ulit na mahirap na. Pakadami sa
Okay, let's discuss each one by one. Karandang Trisha Kabit. When does RA 9162 approve? Among those laws, which are the latest? Latest amendment.
9160, September 29. So, it's put in effect on October 7,
Mm-hmm.
2001.
Mm-hmm.
Signed by former President.
How about the others? Which one is the latest na lang? Really? Okay. This is the first law of Anti-Money Laundering Act. It was enacted because of the cry of the international organizations wherein there are a lot of syndicates or offenders who try to launder money. What do you mean by laundering money?
There is an illegally obtained money or property whereby they try to show it as they originated under legitimate sources.
Mm-hmm. Can you please give me example?
Pag yung mga modalities po na yung mga nakukuha po nilang mga source, kasi na
One sample?
ang pera,
Nabukuang pera, so kwento nila.
pinapalabas po sila na it comes from legitimate sources or it comes from
Can you
legal.
please give me complete example? Let's then use example ba mo? Wala yun. Ikaw ba siya? Really? Why not? That's good. What? Remember ko rin budots? I still remember. I remember you. That's very well. Right, Faith? You are one of the Buddha's boys, right? Can you please give me a complete example? she's saying? What about pork barrel? What is a pork barrel? Why? What is a pork barrel?
Yung fund po na galing yung pinapalabas po.
What is a pork barrel?
Tapos pinapapagawa nila sa mga side.
Is pork barrel
NGO,
legal?
mga projects.
What do you mean depende?
Wag yung fund po ng fund.
So what is a pork barrel? What is the source of pork barrel? Is there still a pork barrel nowadays? Why not?
Tinanggap na diba tayo sa issue nila ng police?
Orme mo passion mo. Nakakaniri yung joke mo. Kasi mo na yan. Fix na lang daw.
Discuss pa namin din yung privacy. Hindi alam.
Come on! Because we know they heard na what's to decide. You want to volunteer?
Ibang way to privacy. Yun lang, ito lang din.
You're mentioning about pork barrel.
Ito lang basok sa-
What is your understanding regarding pork barrel?
Yung mga pera po ng tao ay nila sa pang sarili.
So that is the concept of pork barrel. For you? Technically, every congressman and senators at the time of President Arroyo, the intention of pork barrel is good. Okay? Every congressman are given a fund. Lahat yan may pondo to help their constituents. Okay? Those who's applying for scholarships, those who's applying for, those who want to contribute for the NGOs, those who want to help or to build bridges or whatsoever. So let's say, si Congressman Pinote, saka si Congressman Tason. Where is your province, Iho? Okay. The Congressman of Masbate and your province, Iho? Manila. Where do you live? Good. So let's say you're a congressman of Valenzuela, okay, or the district of Valenzuela, okay? So Congressman Pinote and Congressman Pason here is entitled, let's say, 100 million of funds. It is given. Now, Pinote here, Congressman Pinote here, okay, the Honorable Congressman Pinote may hire scholars and fund that scholars, okay, so they could study, okay, so they could have a better education, okay. He can donate money to the NGOs. He can extend assistance to the local government units, to the mayors, or to give what? Ambulance, medical supplies to the hospitals, okay? Yung mga liblib na barangay, ipasemento ang kalsada. That is really the concept of pork barrel. Unfortunately, there is no accountability. Because in pork barrel, you don't need receipts. You don't need proposal of projects. You don't need documents. All you have to do is to submit a report kung saan napunta yung pondo. Okay? Saan napunta? Napunta sa NGO ni ganito. Napunta sa local government na ganito. Nag-purchase ako ng 10 vehicle. Do you need to prove that? No. Now, if you are the president, you want to control the legislative, you are in the executive department, how do you do that? Gusto mo pork barrel? Let's say I'm the president, gusto mo pork barrel? Ay, basta walang impeachment sa akin now. This is the 500 meter. Do not vote for my impeachment. Otherwise, next time na wala akong pork barrel. Everybody is happy. Because there is no accountability. But the very intention of it is good. Why? It's very hard to request budget sa DBM. It's It's really hard to request if someone here work for the local government. It's hard na magpa-approve ng projects. It's hard to solicit funds for projects. Hospital nga lang, yung mga medical supplies, right? So that is the intention of Port Barrel. However, it was not used in a proper. Ano ginawa? So, may Port Barrel ako. May Port Barrel si Honorable. Pinote here. Oh, sabi niya kay Suba, Tol, magtayo ka ng NGO. Okay. Ano yung NGO mo? Tungkol sa mga taong nag-volunteer. Na nagkaroon na ng depression, kaka-volunteer. So, nag-a-advocate ngayon ng NGO na to ng mental health awareness. Sabi niya, Tol, kunwari, donate ako, 50 million Okay. Pagkabigay ko ng 50 million, ang receive mo lang 1 million, akin yung 49 million. Do you have an account? Do you need to accounted? No. Just have to submit. Ano sa pangalan ng NGO mo? Okay. Suba Volunteer Association. Okay. So, yun lang. Donate 50 million. Volunteer Suba Association. That is the concept of force. Okay. So, it was abused. That's why pumutok ang Napolis. Pumutok yung mga NGOs. That is how it is. But there are legitimate NGOs na nakinabang sa mga fund ng mga honorables. If they are really honorables. Okay? Especially those who have cancer patients, those organizations na nag-cater ng mga bata may cancer. There are still legitimate NGOs. Okay? It's just that nowadays, pangit na siyang pakinggan because of the scam that happened in case of Napolis. Okay. Now, Trisha, what do you mean about the pork barrels, the one that you're giving example? Are you still going to use the pork barrels? Okay.
Dun po kasi sa AMPLA, parang yung
I-pick up mo kaya dun sa 49 million na kinikback ni Honorable Pinote.
yung fund po na dapat para po sa ibang organization, ginagamit po ng per personal purposes. Pero pinapalabas po na ginamit po sa tao.
So that is already laundering. Edi that is plunder. Pandarambong. So si Pinote, si Honorable Pinote ay isang mandarambong. Ika po na, what happened to the 49 million to establish the money laundering? Come on. Where are you going? What? Where do you want to go? Where? Do you want to sit there? Why don't you just sit there? Why? Why don't you just sit there? Why don't you don't try? Sakto yun sa'yo. Come on. Are you sure you don't want to sit here? You can adjust that. Come on, Tisha. You did study, right?
Yung fund po or yung money or property, parang i-deposit po sa bangko para lumabas po na sa malinis po na.
Really? That's it? That is the money laundering there?
Parang yung dineposit po ng money from bank, ipapalabas po nila na kanina sa business for example.
Yeah, give me a concrete example. Situational example. Para makapick up yung past issue. Come on. What do you think is the intention of this law? Come on! May hindi pa natatawag kung may apat pa mag-prevent ng
Flow ng funds na napupunta po sa illegal activities.
Really? What are the covered institutions of ABLA? Institutions. Louder your voice, I cannot hear you. SEC, BSP, that's it? What else? So are you telling me the SEC itself and the BSP itself?
Banking institutions.
Those institutions or organizations being regulated by the Insurance Commission, correct? What else?
Mga insurance companies.
Yeah, I already said that. Regulated by the Insurance Commission. Do you want to be specific? Let's put names.
Brokers, co-dealers.
Those institutions or organizations being regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission, correct? What else? Quiet.
Yung sa mga furniture funds po. Furniture funds.
Yeah, that is included. They are also regulated by the Insurance Commission and the SEC. What else? Those institutions and organizations, banks, deposits, blah, 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 being regulated by the Bangko Sentral, correct?
Any
Palawan Remittance. Cover? Really? Remittances? Smart Padala? No?
smart padala is
Why not? Remittances not included? Cebuana? Really? Remittance in Cebuana? Come on, give me a better answer, Trisha. You just keep on smiling and smiling. It will not make you pass the board exam. Okay? Do you want to volunteer? Parang kulang yung paglaho ka sa luma. Do you want to be the member of SUBA NGO?
Basay banks, any banking institutions na related sa for depositing money.
Yeah, that is already under the Bangko Sentral. What else?
Ito para may kaiba niya. In metals, in stones. Ano makapag-base? Alam mo, di ba?
How about jewelry dealers? What do you mean by that? What is the limit? The cap?
Mga salesmen po, common customers, investment companies.
So we have the those under SEC, those under BSP, those under Insurance Commission. What else?
Any institution po na nagbibigay sa mga currency commodities.
Currency, commodities. Currency is not under BSP. How about jewelry dealers?
Investment companies.
What kind of investment? Under the SEC, under the BSP, under the IC? No need to specific, you know. When you're answering for the board exam, if you know that institution, you also have to be smart when you memorize. Okay? You also have to be smart. Example, you said money remittance. Money remittance is being regulated by the BSP. So automatic over yun. That's under regulations investment stocks under ng SEC. So, automatic cover yun. Bonds. Why? Oh, si Honorable Bernabia. Okay. So, if the institution is being regulated already by SEC, consider it that it is under, it is covered. Okay? So, aside from those institutions that are not covered by SEC, DST, and IC, what are those pa na covered? Jewelry dealers, up to what amount? Quiet! May gusto maging member dito ni Suba. Come on, you have your time to shine. Doon ka matatanong sa alam mo. Relax lang. Doon yung tipong yung binasa mo, yun yung pinakahuli. Tapos tinawag ka na ng classmate mo, baka hindi na ito tanungin kasi nasa pinakahuli, separability clause na lang. Tapos doon ka pala tapat. 1 million? So 1 million is included? Or excess of 1 million? So kung 1 million lang hindi cover Pero kung excess of 1 million cover, you have to be very, very technical about it. Okay? Baka makita mo dun, porque may figures kang nakita, i-cover na to. No. You have to check. Okay? Excess of 1 million. About precious stones. What is a precious stone? How do you define precious stones? Di ba yung bato na ginagamit? What is a precious stone? What else? In relation to what? In relation to what? What else? Are lawyers and CPAs covered? Really? In all instances? Why? Bakit sumisibawat kayo sa pinagkakaroon? Are lawyers and CPAs covered in all instances? Why not? Quiet. So are you telling me if a lawyer receives 75 million pesos, he is not covered? Really? So what is the standards or the requirements para ma-cover or hindi ma-cover ang lawyer?
Pag-related po dun sa client nila yung interview. Covered po yun.
Hindi covered. See? Alam mo, pinagdadasal na nakaklase mo, nagbubusin mo na yung 30 minutes. Right? What do you mean by unlawful activity? are those?
Sila lang.
Okay. What do you mean by wildlife resources under 9147? Why? So the wildlife resources, we have a law that protecting the wildlife animals, no? Example, kung di ba, naalala nyo pag may nahuhuli ng mga endangered species, tapos tinatry na, supposedly, diba, that is a violation of our wildlife resources or Republic Act number 9147. But if you still remember, meron pang mga, yung galing sa Palawan, that was news, diba? You're trying to smuggle that animals. That is a violation of our Republic Act regarding the wildlife resources. How about hijacking? Plano? Hindi pwedeng bako? What is the difference between hijacking and carnap? Why? Why? It seems like the two of you wants to volunteer. What is the difference between hijacking and carnapping? Come on.
Carnapping po yung cleaning parts ng weekend.
How about hijacking? What is the difference between carnapping, hijacking, and robbery highway? Robbery highway. In carnapping, quiet. We also have carnapping here. Included siya. Okay. In a carnapping, the intention is to take the vehicle. The intention is nakawin yung vehicle. In a hijacking, the perpetrators or the accused aboard the vehicle is either to commit robbery, particularly in planes and vessels, or to take over the planes or vehicles. Do you get it? You get it? However, if the intention of the perpetrator is to go against the government, that is not hijacking anymore, but terrorism. Okay? So we have to draw line. You get it? As of now. How about anti-graft? Trisha? Graft.
Sa wala.
Who could be held liable to graft and corruption? Only public officers? Okay. How about private citizens? Can they be held liable to graft and corrupt practices?
Gusto mo corporation, mga officers.
Hindi? Sige, ganito. Let's say, why? Let's say si Honorable Pinote. Nagtatrabaho sa local government. Ngayon, ang daming sobrang supplies sa LGU. Ang daming cartridges ng printer. Okay. Siyempre, sabi ni Pinote, sayang naman, hindi napapakinabangan. Then you own a computer shop. The cartridges of printer is being sold by Pinote for only 100 pesos. Okay? And then you buying that cartridges for 100 pesos, knowingly that that the cartridges are owned by the local government. Question: can you be held liable for graft? Really? Why? Really? Because in the eyes of law, we have what we call conspiracy. In a conspiracy, an act of one is act of all. Okay? Meaning, general rule, the anti-graft and corrupt practices shall be committed by the public officers. And those public officers who committed or violated the said law shall be tried or shall be heard in the Sandigan Bayan. That is the competent court, hindi regional trial court, not court of appeals, but Sandigan Bayan. Only those, yun yung nasa my Commonwealth. Saan? Yes or no?
Yes, sir, no.
Okay. So, wala tulong. So, those public officials are being tried in the Sandigan Bayan. So, general rule, if you're a ordinary citizen, you are not a public officer, you will be tried in a regular court. However, if it can be proven that you conspired with a public officer to commit graft and corrupt practices, then you will be also tried and will be the competent court that will handle your case is the Sandigan. Okay. How about arson? Destructive, not only arson, not simple arson, but destructive arson. Okay, kindly take note of that. That's tricky. Destructive arson. Okay, wait, let me go back here. So, example, sa anti-graft. It is an unlawful activity. Like, for instance, may kinurap ka na pera na hindi naman talaga para sa'yo. Let's say, kolektor ka sa munisipyo ng pwesto sa palengke. Instead of remitting that payment, okay, i-deposit inilagay mo sa sarili mong pera. Inuwi mo. Then you bought a motorcycle. Okay? You bought a motorcycle. Okay. Question. Can that motorcycle be forfeited in favor of the government? Yes. Because that is a classic example of money laundering. You're converting the dirty money into a good property. Motorcycle is a good property. Okay? Example. Kumita ka, like for instance yung kanina, 49 million, kinarakot ni Platter, kinarakot ni Honorable Congressman Pinote. Okay? Anong ginawa mo? Bumili ka ng stocks. Okay? Bumili ka ng stocks sa kumpanya. Okay? Pumunta ka sa Securities Exchange Commission through internet. You bought a stocks of Jollibee. Okay? Yeah, the stocks of Jollibee is minimum 100 amounting to 30,000 to 40,000 pesos. Okay? So, sabihin natin bumili ka ng, that's per 100 sabihin natin bumili ka ng thousands of stocks of Jollibee. Amounting to, sabihin natin 20 million. Then afterwards, nung tumaas ng konti yung stocks, binenta mo. Kumita ka na. Okay? Then yung pinagbentahan mo, nilagay mo sa bank. That is a classic example of money laundering. Okay? Anyone here who watched Pablo Escobar? Narcos. In a Narcos, you can easily see how they tried to launder the money. That is the time wherein boom na boom ang cocaine sa Colombia. So, they don't even know where to put the money. So, they're trying to dig it in the land, they're trying to bury it in kung san-san, sa higaan, sa pub, and everything. Okay, because it's booming. The market's the US. Okay? And they're trying to launder the money. Through what? Buying properties, buying houses, buying people. Okay? Creating houses for the poorest of the poor in Colombia. That's why the government has find it hard to penetrate the Pablo Escobar syndicate. Okay? Do you get it? Sabi ko na, upa-upa na naman tayo. Okay. Let's go to arson and destructive arson. Later on, we'll be going to discuss it one by one. As of now, that is the highlight of act. Come on. We're going to finish the... May isa pa, oh. Let's see who will be the last gun. What is arson? Come on, what is arson? Ariel, Pinote. What is arson, Nico? What is the difference from simple arson to destructive arson? Simple isang bahay, destructive dalawa ko. That's all. Hindi sinasadya ang arson? Really? Kunti ang dami. So, kung lang, hindi sa akin, sorry. What is destructive arson? I will leave destructive arson to you and going to ask the next meeting regarding that. Now, let's go to trafficking in persons. You want to volunteer for your good friend Pinote? Come on, stand up. What is? Stand up. What is trafficking in person? What is trafficking in person?
In person, no?
Person. Trafficking in person. Anti-trafficking in person, we have the Public Act 9208.
Yung criminal, parang pupukuha ng tao para gawin yung illegal na bagay, tapos babayaran sila.
What is the difference between illegal recruitment and trafficking in person?
Illegal recruitment mga parang yung agency wala, hindi siya registered na
Really?
wala sa POA na
Really?
illegal recruitment.
Let's put it this way. Let's say I hire you, okay? Sabi ko, Pasyon, kasi sa Manila medyo kailangan na magaling gumiling. Kasi nag-retire na si Dante wala pa. Pasukan naman ng konti-konti na. So I hire you as a dancer. Okay? So, question, is that trafficking in persons? Really? Are you telling me that being a dancer is prohibited by law? Why are you doing this? Huh? Are you checking if you have apps? So, are you telling me that that is already a trafficking person? Are you telling me that being a dancer is an illegal act? So, can you please give me example of trafficking person?
Yung mga bata ginagamit sa ano. Parang yung magbabayaran yung nag-hire nun. Hindi parang dito. Yun na muli yung ano ma'am, mga ginagamit yung bata. Yung may gagawin mas ano, parang maguhubad nila.
Quiet! Magubad! Saan?
Sa ano lang ma'am, parang video ko lang ako.
That would be a child pornography.
Hindi ba? Ay, mamaya naman lang. Yung nilulunok yung drugs, tapos pabagwayin sa ibang bansa. Tapos saka ilalabas.
Question, is that a violation of Comprehensive Dangerous Drug Act or that is a trafficking of persons? Human trafficking or drug trafficking? For example, come on, you get together. Have you watched the 20-year slave? 20-year slave.
Parang lang.
You watch Carlo?
Minsan ma'am.
So there is a movie 20 Years Slave. If you were able to watch that, that is the time wherein Yupita was discovered. Okay? He was a black American. He was abducted. Okay? That is the time fish has attacks because passion already doesn't care. Okay. So that is the time wherein there is a discrimination between black American and white American. Okay? So only few black Americans are free. Okay? Only few black Americans has papers. So what happened is, this black American, a musician, he plays violin. Okay? A black American was abducted and then tried to sold by white American. Because if you own, that's the third, if you own a black American during that time, you are rich. And black Americans are being sold as a property. Do you get it? So this black American was abducted and sold it to a white American. Okay? Anong ginagawa? The business of the white American is nagpupulot siya ng cotton. Okay? Nag-harvest siya ng cotton. And every time, with no pay. Okay? It is as if you are my property and you're going to follow me. Okay? So they harvest cotton, but he is really a free man. Okay? Until he encountered this white American by Brad Pitt and then informed his family that he is really a free man. And then the papers was presented, etc., etc. And that is the only time he was free. That is human trafficking. When you try to sold someone for the purpose of exploitation, okay, with or without consent. What is the basic example? Yung mga badyaw na namamalimos dito tuwing Pasko. Saan tingin nyo nang gagaling? Okay. Badyaw is from Sulu. Okay? From Mindanao. Okay. Why do you think nakarating dito ang mga badyaw na yan? Every Christmas, pag nag-start ng November, there is a lot of street children asking for money, right? Yung iba may mga dala pang bata. Okay? Old man, they have kids. It's because they are being trafficked from Sulu going to Manila. What? Para humingi ng palimos. Then that is human trafficking. There's another one, organ trafficking. Okay? Kinukuha mo yung tao to sold yung kanyang laman loob, bato, atay, puso, etc. Then that is human trafficking. Human trafficking can be committed inside or outside the Philippines. If you recruited someone and then you try to slave that person outside the Philippines, it doesn't matter. That is still a violation of human trafficking. Okay? Because it is widely recognized by the international organizations. The crime of human trafficking. Okay? Pasyon. Isn't it God? How about terrorism? Wala na si Mauntin dito.
Example.
Okay. Can you please give me example of terrorism?
Yung in-invade yung Marawi.
What is the difference between terrorism and rebellion? What is the difference? Terrorism and rebellion.
Rebellion lang. Halimbawa,
Quiet. What is the difference between rebellion and terrorism? Terrorism is a crime against humanity, while rebellion, you're trying to overthrow the government. Okay? You're just trying to overthrow the government. Ayaw mo ng patakaran nila. Ayaw mo ng nangyayari sa gobyerno. Then naghihimagsik ka laban sa gobyerno. But the terrorism, it is a crime against humanity. Okay? Sige, hodang may hinihingi ka sa gobyerno o wala, you just want to terrorize the people around. Okay? So if you're noisy, you're guilty of terrorism. If you have a foul odor, you're guilty of terrorism. What do you think? So kung pangit ka, yung guilty ng terrorism. Okay. Sige. Let's stop there. Okay?
Yes.
And passion will continue in next meeting. Okay? We will continue with the lawful activities. Then data privacy act. But I doubt it will finish the other. But I hope it will cover the data privacy act. Okay? Adjourn.
Picture ako nito yan. Ito lang. Kasi hindi ko yung number, RA. May print ako niyan. Gusto mo basahin kita? Pa-print na lang. Print mo na lang. Mamaya. Thank you. Salamat.